What does it mean to be financially independent? To be straight with you, it depends. Meaning, it means different things to different people. But let's take a look to see what it means for you. You ready? Let's go. Few things may sound as appealing as the idea of becoming financially independent. Though financial independence can mean different things to different people, it typically refers to being able to live comfortably off of one's savings and investments. In some cases, it may also mean the ability to retire early, though financial independence doesn't necessarily have to mean leaving a career you love. It's about working because you want to, not because you have to. Like the sound of that? Well, achieving financial freedom could be easier than you think. You see, the process of getting there often comes down to a relatively simple principle: spending less and saving more. But there are plenty of nuances to this time-honored wisdom that can make a significant difference. So let's take a look at what it means to become financially independent and explore some practical strategies for achieving it. Oh, and by the way, if you're still looking to get that first deal under your belt, I put together a free training just for you to help you get that first deal done. And then I'll show you how to earn $5,000 a month flipping contracts and properties working as little as 1 hour a day. And you can access it at mattsfreetraining.com. While there is no set definition for financial independence, the term often means getting to a point where you don't have to work to pay your living expenses. Usually, financial independence is achieved by relying on savings, investments, and other forms of passive income to pay the bills. Though financial independence doesn't have to mean leaving behind a job or a career, it can. In fact, the term is often used as a synonym for early retirement. And the two phrases are commonly strung together in the popular acronym FIRE, which stands for Financially Independent Retire Early. Now, there are myriad benefits to becoming financially independent. One of the biggest perks is the ability to have choices. You can choose to keep working if you enjoy it, or you can kick back and relax. That's a choice. You can save money to pass on to future generations, or you can splurge and travel the world. That too is a choice. Becoming financially independent can also enable you to enjoy work more. Meaning, if you're no longer doing it for the money, you can structure your job responsibilities so you're only doing the things that you want to do. It can also benefit your mental and physical health. Having the ability to work less allows you to exercise more and get more sleep. Not to mention, avoid the day-to-day stresses that accompany the rat race. Financial independence may also allow you to spend more time with a partner, kids, family, and friends. Having stronger relationships can lead to increased happiness in life also. Becoming financially independent typically requires having a clear plan in place and being willing to, roll up your sleeves and get to work. To work hard now, so later you don't have to. And if you'd like some simple steps that you can take to help you get there, let me know by smashing the like button. And if you take your real estate investing seriously in the interest of achieving financial independence, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I post tips, tricks, tactics, and resources around financial independence and retiring early every single week. All right, financial independence. Let's make it happen. First thing to do, define your lifestyle. Do some daydreaming and think about what you would do if you didn't have to wake up to an alarm clock each day and go to work. Where would you live? What would you do with your time? But before you go too crazy, just keep in mind that the more extravagant the lifestyle that you envision, most likely the longer it will take to make it happen. The more of a minimalist you are, and I've been working more and more on minimalizing my life in the last few years, I find it quite liberating, but the more of a minimalist that you are up front, the sooner your financial independence day can arrive. I built my financial independence through multiple streams of passive income. And to start, I lowered my expenses as much as possible. And then once my passive income caught up to my expenses, I started allowing myself more expenses, but never too much to exceed my income. So that takes us to number 2, projecting what your expenses are gonna be. So your best bet is just to start with your current spending by looking at the last 12 months of bank and credit card statements and recording your expenses on a spreadsheet. Or maybe you already have them ready to go in QuickBooks or something. Look at where you spent your money over the last year and then think about how those expenses may change with your new lifestyle. For example, you may spend less on housing if you plan to downsize or move to an area with a lower cost of living. On the other hand, you may spend more on travel, hobbies, and healthcare. And of these expenses that you're left with, where could they be cut further? Reducing your expenses actually gives you more bang for your buck in the beginning than boosting your income when it comes to creating your financial independence. Meaning, cutting a $100 per month non-essential online subscription service you may have is typically going to be easier than building your passive income stream by $100 per month. In the short term, both strategies, less expenses, more income, can increase the amount you can save each month. However, cutting expenses also helps you in the long term because it enables you to live on a smaller income for the rest of your life, which in turn lowers your financial independence number and makes it easier to reach. You could look at it like this. Every dollar you earn helps you once, but every dollar you save helps you twice. Number 3, calculate how much you need and how you'll get it. So, first part of this is simple. Once you know your average monthly expenses, you now know what you need to bring in each month. Now, you'd like to earn more than you need, of course, but let's use this number as our first milestone to focus on, and then once we reach it, then we can set a new one. So let's say your average monthly expenses over a year are $10,000 a month. So that's the number you're gonna wanna focus on first. Second, an important decision needs to be made on how that $10,000 is going to be generated. And there are really just 2 ways to go about it. The first way, the traditional way, is to work, save, and invest. With the goal being, you save enough money to where it eventually amounts to enough that per interest and or dividends, it produces a passive income for you. For most people, it makes sense to meet with a financial advisor to get a grasp on what's realistic by projecting market fluctuations and life events and determining how much you need to save until your passive income amounts to $10,000 a month in residuals. As an example, if you found a conservative investment that averaged 6% annually per year, you would need to save $2 million to reach your goal. How long that would take for you to reach will depend greatly on how much you earn doing what you're currently doing for a living. The truth is, however, that most people simply just don't make enough to save enough for this plan to pan out while they're young enough to enjoy it, if they ever get there at all. This traditional advice of work, save, and invest, it's failing 95% of the population. And that's not some random statistic that I just kind of pulled out of thin air. No, that's per the Department of Health and Human Services. All right, so now the alternative approach, which would be to work, invest, and save. And I'm specifically referring to investing in passive income vehicles that allow you to utilize some leverage, such as income-producing real estate, or accessing a line of credit to start an online business, or in decentralized finance where yields in the triple digits are not unreasonable nor uncommon. Depending on your experience and know-how, for most people, this will require an investment in themselves first to understand how investment vehicles like these can work for them and how they can work for you. And if you'd like some help with that, it might make sense for you to take a look at how I help my private clients become financially independent over at reiace.com. And when you get there, just answer a few questions and then you can pick a time for us to hop on the phone to discuss. The point here though, by simply changing the sequence of your priorities from work, save, invest to work, invest, save, you can reach your financial independence at 10 times the speed of how the majority of the population is going about it. And that's a conservative estimate. Now, number 4, maximize income. You know, the more money you make while you're working, the more you'll be able to save or invest, depending on which path you choose. Either way, more money makes both of those approaches much faster. So there are many places to look for extra income. First, your day job. You know, if your job pays by the hour, you can try to get some additional shifts or put in more overtime. If you're on a salary, ask your boss for a pay raise. You know, with either type of job, you can work on polishing your skills in order to earn a promotion or learn a whole new set of skills so you can get a new, better paying job somewhere else. Another way to maximize your income is through side jobs. If you aren't getting enough hours of work at your main job, you can look for a second job to make up the difference. You can also start a side business such as tutoring or dog walking or driving or freelance writing. Or you can bring in a little extra cash from a hobby that you enjoy, such as, photography or graphic design or music or crafts. Another way to maximize your income is selling your belongings. You know, a lot of people have extra stuff lying around the house that they no longer need, and some of it could be worth money. For instance, old furniture, coins, and jewelry sometimes have value to antique dealers. You can also get money for gently used clothing or furniture and sports equipment through consignment shops. And of course, you can sell nearly anything on eBay or Amazon. Another way, passive income streams. Start building them right now. Do you have an extra room that you can rent out? Can you pick up an income property or two and start renting those out? By picking up just one income property and turning it into a short-term rental, it can produce as much as 2 or 3 traditional income properties. Could you use the subject matter from that book and create a YouTube channel around it? You know, at the time of this recording, I don't have that many subscribers, and the channel earns anywhere from 4 to 5 figures a month. With some dedication, that alone might get you to your $10,000 a month goal. And if you don't like any of those, I've got 30 different ideas, 30 other ideas completely for you to choose from when it comes to creating passive income. And I'll put a link for you down below in the description. So, based on those 4 actionable steps and insights, when could you get started? When would now be a good time? If you'd like some help with that, the invite still stands. Take a look at what I put together for my private clients at reiace.com. And when you get there, answer a few questions, and then you can pick a time for us to hop on the phone to discuss. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care.